Hi there. It is June 8th, 2019, and this is my first race review in close to 10 months. A little over 10 months. And I just ran the Beautiful Beast today. Beautiful Beast 15K, which is in scenic Hyernan, New Jersey. I'll do a quick overview of the course for everybody, and then I'll talk about my race. So the race is, the joke was the race director is the beautiful part is the downhill is first, and quite literally it is. They adjusted the course this year, and as soon as you start, you just turn inside like this little park area where you park, and it's like straight downhill. Like we're flying downhill. Like arms are out, you're just legs are going in front of each other, downhill, turn, downhill again, and then it's kind of a gradual uphill to the road itself, and then you have the beast. You go down the beast, and the rest of the race is basically on, I think, River Road or like the Columbia Trail. So running the Columbia Trail, it's just kind of like that gravel. It's similar to the towpath, light gravel. I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. After you turn onto the Columbia Trail, you turn into Califon, and then you're running on the road, and then you're back onto the Columbia Trail for a majority of the race. I would say close to 7 miles is on the Columbia Trail or this road right next to the Columbia Trail. And it is great. I have to say this is a terrific race to run. The only downside is the hill. So if you're aiming for a PR, you're going to have to try to get your PR in the the miles prior before the hill. I'm kind of sidetracked. Usually I'm driving when I'm doing these race reviews. So that was kind of my strategy going in, was thinking the hill's going to suck and you're going to lose time on the hill. It's not a huge hill. It's a little over half a mile, but it's still a hill. Nobody likes hills. So with that being said, I like the course. I love the course. They just adjusted it just a little bit. They'll probably tweak it again next year. But I would highly suggest any person that likes a 15K and is in West New Jersey to try to do the Beautiful Beast. It's a well organized, lots of volunteers and well run 15K. 10 out of 10. So with that being said, my race. I woke up at 6:15. I had a bagel and had some Monster, a Red Bull actually, and it really kind of upset my stomach. I almost thought about throwing up before the race started, but I was able to settle it down with some water beforehand. And the race strategy going in, I was looking at how many people had entered and how competitive it was last year, and I said to myself, top 10. Top 10, 6:50 pace, so we'll be in 63 minutes and like 30 seconds. So going into that, I didn't know about certain course changes like the quick downhill or anything like that. So my pace was, I actually wrote this down. It was 6:24 the first mile. Then it was 6:01. That's when you went down the beast itself. My coach Dave was there to support a couple people. I saw lots of familiar faces. I saw Mrs. Bothig. I saw Dan, who's Dave's friend. I saw. I'm sorry if I forgot your name. I saw you from this girl who graduated from Del Valle in 2010. And I saw Patrick Neighbor. Patrick Neighbor, I'll mention in the race a little bit. He got fourth the first year I ran it, and he was running it this year. He runs for Gettysburg now. So, I don't think I'm supposed to mention that you're running. So, not Patrick Neighbor. Anyways, so yeah, it was nice to see some familiar faces while running the race. Dave met me at the bottom of the hill and was running with me on the Columbia Trail and kind of motivating me, talking to me, and I was kind of talking to him. And we passed one guy, and then I was like, okay, I'm in seventh. There's 6 people in front of me. And so Dave stepped off around 3 miles or 2.5 miles or something like that. So I'm just kind of following this rainbow guy who's in front of me. And then there's the Lou Palma's brother and I think one other guy, a gray shirt guy with a bald spot. And so I'm chasing after them. Around mile 4, we kind of bunch up together. And I'm just kind of sticking with them. I'm kind of the young guy, and they're just kind of going along. Because mind you, I'm flying. Just the pace is just going off the rails. It's like 6:21, and I just kind of thought to myself, do you feel it? Like, do you feel tired? Because living in Bahrain, I'm only running 30 miles a week, 4 to 5 miles every day, 650 pace. So running with better air quality, lower temperatures, and while you're running in the gorge, the temperature dips 5 degrees because you're in shade, and it's like valley air, and so it's cooler. And all I thought to myself was, this is easy. I feel pretty good. Like, my breathing is okay. I'm hydrated. And I thought to myself, you're young. They're a bit older. You got 8th place locked up. Go for 5th. Just go. So, like, I stepped out ahead and started to push the pace, and nobody was really kind of coming with me. And I just thought, just keep going. So my 5th mile was 6:17, and then my 6th mile was 6:03. So I was building some lead. I could kind of gauge it by some people clapping, and then I would just kind of listen. It's like they would clap for me, and then I would turn and silence. I don't hear anybody else clapping, clapping for the next guy. So it's like, okay, you're building a lead. After 6.2, which was 38:40 for my 10K, we had this like little turn uphill to get to the path to take us back. And it just like kind of hit me. It's like, oh man, we got like a 5K to go. So I quickly hydrated, and I saw somebody coming up the path, and I was like, you got to go. So it was like 6:46 that mile, the 7th mile. And Patrick Neighbors ahead of me by a little, like close to 100 yards. And I slowly kind of reeled him in. I wasn't reeling him in. I wasn't chasing him. It was more of just get it closer. Make the gap a little closer, because you don't want anybody behind you to catch you. I just said, don't look behind you. Don't motivate them to, it's like, oh, now he's looking, now he's afraid. So I just said, just keep going. Just keep going. Don't worry about them. Just try to focus on Patrick. So I started to reel him in, and he mentioned to me, he got 4th last year, and he got the 4th the previous year. And I wanted to sneak up on him and say, you want to know what's worse than 4th? 5th, and pass him. But I was like, I'm not going to demoralize him. I got within 20 yards of him. And at that point, you're at 8 miles. So even the fastest guys start to get tired. And so it was 6:46 for the 6 miles, 6:27. And, oh, is that the, yeah, 6:46 for the 7, and 6:22 for the 8th mile. And then I said, all right, well, you got as close as you can. Now just kind of finish it out, round it out. Because now I'm starting to do the math. It's like, can you get this thing under an hour? Can you not? So as we were going up the beast, the biggest thing with the beast is just like, you just got to will yourself. It's only half a mile, but it's a pretty steep incline. And as I'm doing that, I kind of look behind me. I don't see anybody. And I see Patrick. And I just said, whatever place you're in going on the hill, if you're probably going to hold it, because it's difficult to chase somebody down ahead of you, and if you have a lead on somebody, it's difficult for them to chase you while maintaining the pace going uphill. So I just said, just walk. So I walked for like 20 yards, and then I looked at my watch, and it's not like it is. I said, well, you're only 3 minutes away from for 0.3 miles, and then you could be under an hour. So I said, all right, let's go. So I turned it on, kept going, and I ended up finishing 59:38 for my watch time. So I was super psyched, and then it slowly started to settle in. I ran 6:25 pace for 15K, under an hour, while mostly training in the desert, running short distances. And I just thought, yes. So I was super psyched. And I actually won my age group. And despite registering on race day, I was able to get this beautiful commemorative glass, the Beautiful Beast, 115K. And I got the Beautiful Beast t-shirt, which is seen here. Hopefully you can see it. Looks good. Yeah. And then I got my age group award, And yeah, where's, oh yeah, I wrote my splits on the back of this thing. So it looks like it's almost like a Christmas ornament. It's made of wood. You can actually smell it. You can smell the finish. I love that smell. So I like it. Made of wood. I like those ornaments. And then they also gave me this, because I think it's USATF certified, but I'd never seen anything like this. And it's gold and it's shiny. It's real nice. So, yeah, Beautiful Beast 15K. My one and only race while I'm home on leave, and I'm super glad I got to do it. So, that's my race review.